when Mario Wonder was first revealed and everybody was like, there goes Mario tripping out on his magical plant life? Well, I say, how come only Mario and his friends get to have all the fun? Haven't you ever wondered what would happen if you took a Wonder Flower? No? Well, I have. So I spent the last week studying all of them. And I built a foolproof list that ranks every Wonder effect, ending with the best ones that I'd want to take that are essentially like superpowers, and beginning with the most dangerous ones that would actually kill you or lead to human extinction. Take Robert Cove, for example. This effect completely swaps the land and water portions of the level, which in theory would allow you to walk along the seafloor. But after thinking for 3 seconds, I realized that everything on land would get destroyed, and every sea creature in existence would just suffer and die. So the seafloor would be nothing but animal corpses. So that's the worst one. At least it's only up from here, like this dark, shadowy man who hunts you down and kills you with one touch. Plus, he can even travel through blocks and obstacles. Oh, but don't worry, he'll go away if you hit him with 50 fireballs? How the But wait, call now, and you can summon this gargantuan, horrifying flounder with sharp-toothed jaws who constantly leaps out of the water trying to eat you. Never seen that before. Okay, but what about a few rainbow bubbles? On Bluebird Roost, you can make giant rainbow bouncy bubbles. Sorta looks mad fun, like just look at Toad there. But what happens when all these bubbles pop? What happens when they stop? Will your body just drop? Will it plop? Will it flop? Will it turn you into slop? Like, you're definitely dead, but at least the ride up was probably sick. In this one, the battleship's figurehead detaches from the front and begins firing explosive blasts at you. I guess my first of many questions would be, is there any way to stop this thing? Are you just stuck in an endless battle between you and a floating Bowser head shooting explosives at your noggin? This one has to be in the probably dead tier. But touch this flower and you summon a stampede of hot, invincible bulrushes in your area. Yeah, like this one's fun in Mario Wonder, but like I'm not Mario. I don't know how I'd be able to stay on one of these things. And if my childhood taught me anything about stampedes, it's hide your fathers. Miss me with that stampede, whether I survive or not. It's a giant ball with spikes all over it, and it appears to be rolling toward you always. Good luck. Y'all remember those levels with the colored blocks and they would show up in sync with the music? Now just imagine those, but if you don't keep moving, you fall and you die. I feel like it could be like a good workout, but this flower's gotta be in a deadly tier. But just think to yourself, have you ever wanted massive purple hippopotami to fall from the sky and knock you around a little bit? Or act as a rocket launch trampoline to shoot you into the atmosphere so you die instantly? This one almost certainly leads to serious injury. On the very first level of the game, this flower causes pipes to come alive. Consider just how many pipes are around you at any given moment. Now think about everyone bursting at once, staring into your eyes while they do it, crawling along the floor like inchworms. And yeah, maybe you can ride them, but even the Goom Bros are strolling way faster than this thing. Just let me keep my pipes where they are. But now we may actually be getting safer, because you can now spawn a sort of avalanche with this giant snowball thing that destroys everything in its path, but you can stand on it. So technically, I don't think this one's gonna kill you. You could also summon a giant spike statue that spits fiery boulders at you. And maybe it's just me, but these fiery balls that he's spitting, they're not coming at us that fast. Like, in terms of what is most deadly, I'm not really convinced. But also in terms of what is most useful, I'm also really not convinced on this one either. This flower causes pipes to fall. As far as I know, that is it. It doesn't make any appear, doesn't do anything else, but let them fall. There's really no reason to mess with this one. We all know that Missile Meg is a sister of our friend Bullet William and his cousin Torpedo Theodore, but what does she actually do? Besides exhausting these vibrant colors, it seems like she wants to hurt us. And what happens when these things finally make contact with some sort of physical object? Do they explode? What degree of an explosion are we talking about here? So until her lore is further expanded upon, we just gotta tread lightly here. It's the last level before the final battle. Knucklefest. And you touch a flower that changes everything. If you don't touch it, nothing really happens. But if you do, a stage suddenly rises and you instinctively put your dump truck on display in front of everyone. But what does this flower even do? Well, it seems that bullet willies come out to play. Gamboos start breaking it down. And perhaps most importantly, these large flaming fists try to give you a knuckle sandwich in rhythm with the music. So it's basically a rave, but you could die. So it's gotta be like low, mid-tier. And now a horde of noshers are headed your way. They don't appear to be all that fast, but there's like an absolute squadron of these little dudes, and you know one of them is gonna get you. And now we've got everything turning into silhouettes. It's cool. It's honestly pretty. What is that? And what are these? Somebody please turn the lights back on. And oh baby, this one summons Big Conk. There's got to be some sort of investment opportunity here into an excavation business with the homie Conk. But based on what I've seen, I think dude just follows you wherever you go and tries to slam you. He also seems like a chill dude to watch college football with on a Saturday. I gotta say, I'm a little torn on this one. But I think it's finally time to stop fearing for our lives and get into some of the better effects. Like this flower that makes all the plant life around you break into song. And if you were a theater kid, I could see how this could be like a top spot for you. But what do we know? We know there's 3 different songs in 3 different areas of the game, so with that info we can conclude that wherever you go in life, you'll be hearing a different song. The obvious problem is, we don't know if each song will be a banger. Like, what's the song outside your home? The DMV, sitting in traffic, you already know those ones suck. So with perhaps a polarizing pick here, we're putting it on the bottom half. And it's not about to get any less controversial here. Because if you take this flower, you can make time itself move faster. Now this one appears to be top tier, and maybe for you it is. But myself, an intellectual, has watched the movie Click at least 2 times. I know where this is going. It starts out awesome. You fast forward through all the worst parts of your life, like all that work you gotta do. You're sitting at the red light, that story your grandpa told 12 times already, until one day, your grandpa's met his maker, your favorite dog Milo's dead, and you've got 3 kids with a lady named Cindy. And that's all I'm saying about this one. This flower, though, makes spikes dance and throw spike balls rhythmically, which makes me a little conflicted, because like on one hand, they're spikes. These guys are the homies, and they're dancing, and they're having a good time, but the level is called Angry Spikes and Sinking Pipes. Dudes are clearly trying to kill you with these things, and yet somehow I remained enthralled with the idea that you can make a dancing spike dude appear at any given moment. So even with a little hesitance, put this one a little higher on the list. So how about this ship that just appears and shoots these huge red bombs from a cannon in the back? The thing is, I'm more of a peaceful type cat, so I gotta hold myself back on this one. Even though there's this button that's right there, just asking to be pressed. There is just no way that I can trust myself with these explosives. So this flower here causes a snowstorm. Snowstorms aren't exactly ideal, but most places can prepare for this sort of thing. And the amount of times I would have used this as a kid to get a snow day or like a white Christmas sort of thing. If you try not to think about the snow blocks being like a couple feet tall, this one is actually kind of cool. I'm not sure if I really know what's going on here. I mean, this one makes linking lifts bigger. Those things just do not exist in this dimension, but it also spawns 3 Lakitu bros that just follow you around and make it hail on you like you're some sort of Canadian stripper. I was supposed to find another term for it. I mean, at least you could go to arcades and you'd never run out of dough. Still, with how dangerous some of those other ones are, we'll give it a mid tier. It's Bowser Jr. fight number 2, and this wonder effect creates some sort of sticky substance in your proximity. So of course, I did a deep dive just to find out what this substance is. But all I could find was others' own interpretations of what it was. Like it was gooey and moist. Look, I don't know about you, but I'm willing to take the risk here. It could be urine, it could be honey, could be something in between. Pull out a Tailey's tail and touch this flower to be thrown into a quiz show. Maybe you'll fall in love with a hoppo, or you'll learn about the up-and-coming rapper Lil Bowser. But aside from all that, this quiz ain't all that. It's getting a passive mid-tier. And what about a wonder-powered Shova pushes a giant Bowser statue towards you? Thanks. Also on the second Bowser Jr. fight, there's an effect that makes the ground become ice. Like, that's kind of sick. You can break the blades out and just start skating. I'm down for this one. Why not? Poles. This one makes poles appear. You never know when you're gonna be in a sticky situation and you need some pulls. This one is all right in my book. It doesn't kill you or anyone else. We're improving here. Additionally, on Team Why Not, we've got giant hoppy cats and flying anglefish. Like, sure, why not? You just get a ton of giant hoppy dudes all around you. You've also got flying rainbow anglefish. Do these fireworks come with them? I don't know. But again, not lethal. We're moving up the ranks. Things are heating up here as we've got enormous zigzagging lightning bolts that appear out of nowhere. Let's just try to be optimistic with this one. Maybe it's 3 a.m. Maybe I can't sleep. And bang, instant storm to help you fall asleep. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But having a storm on demand could be kind of legit. And while not activated directly via a Wonder Flower, this is a Wonder effect, and it's that first boss fight with Bowser Jr. where you're shrinking and growing. I'm not really sure what to think and how to feel on this one. Do you have any control over when you shrink and when you grow? Does the other person in the room with you also shrink and grow? And yeah, maybe I would try it a few times just to see how it felt. But at the end of the day, I enjoy my size the way it is, and I'm comfortable sticking to it. And this effect causes an ancient temple to rise from below the ground. I think the only downside is those red talking flowers that switch up on you. Like, why are they so nice to you the whole game and they just hate you inside this thing? Is there maybe like some sort of treasure they're trying to hide? I don't know, but there's only one way to find out, baby. Take this flower and you start walking on walls. The y-axis of life is not ready for your boy. It's finally time to Spider-Man ourselves on skyscrapers. But I'll tell you what, this effect does not help my fear of heights. No, it does not. So I just gotta give it a middle spot here. Now, compared to Hoppos, not only are these guys adorable, but they also seem a lot safer. If you ever wanted a trampoline and a best friend, this one is for you. Hear me out, because now we're talking about effects that do not hurt you, they help you. And maybe it doesn't seem like much to you, but now we've got magical translucent slopes. Not to mention they come with rollerblading Koopa friends that you can hang with at any time. Just imagine you gotta walk to work or to class. You just feel like taking the golden slopes that day. I don't know. This one's wild. I love it. But now it's time to become an actual human balloon. And thankfully, it does appear you get full control over where you go. The downside to this one is that it has a 130-second time limit. So it's like, yeah, maybe you're in a city somewhere, could be real nice, but the time limit's holding this one back a little. Still cool, still pretty high. What I'd rather do is barrel down the street at frighteningly high speeds when you become a giant spike ball. The best part is nobody can mess with you, because if they do, they're gonna get absolutely spiked. You destroy pretty much everything in your path, which could be awesome, but could also be highly incriminating. So roll at your own risk. There is a lot with this one. Thanks to modding, we know that Tall Guy can exist in levels other than the silhouette ones. So as sick as it would be to be all stretchy McMillions in the NBA dunking on Wemby, you'd probably get tested for performance-enhancing flowers and kicked out of the league. But I have to ask you one thing. What if you had to fly Spirit? Well, thankfully, you can scrunch yourself up if you needed to, but who knows just how comfortable that would be. This one's risky. I like it a lot, and things are getting really spicy now. Because this bad boy turns your area into a disco nightclub complete with dancing plants and ninjas getting down with their bad selves. All right, I get it. The other music effect was way lower, but that one did not have ninjas in it. Just look at those lads. It's an easy high tier for me, dog. And now you're telling me that we can just free fall out of nowhere with no consequences? Just look at the dude. He is chilling. You could be on a flight across the US and then just say peace and jump out and land in Kansas. I don't know why you would, but for real, it's like flying but falling. It's still cool. So this effect is not nearly as existential as the time speeding up one because it's much less tempting. But you could easily use it to make the most of some of the best moments. Like that Friday night out with the fellas. Or what about like a hug? Or, you know, like something a little more romantic. You get the picture. We just have to go high tier, making the most out of these moments, y'all. Technically speaking, this flower allows it to rain superstars, not actual stars, so we don't all die. But the superstars do let you destroy any living thing that you touch. I guess if you're someone that really enjoys some good old personal space, this one's good. And don't forget, you get a magnetic field for coins, so you can just straight rob a wishing well for $8 and a slice of bologna. So it's easily high tier, but it's really risky. But with that aside, it's officially time for the top 10. Here we go, baby. This flower lets you become a puffy lift. The pros, adorable, luckily very fluffy and soft. The cons, if someone sits on you, which they probably will want to, you die. We're still going high tier. I understand the risks. Finally, it's time. We can now summon large water balls. Featured in the 4th Bowser Jr. fight, you might just think these are no big deal. Well, they are a big deal to me. Have you ever wanted to take a nice cool dip on a summer's day, but you're nowhere near a beach or a pool? Water balls. Did you get all hot and sweaty and you need to rinse yourself off, but you're not home to shower? Water balls. Are you thirsty? Water. I'm telling you, this changes everything. And there's one flower where the ground becomes slimy and slippery. But let's just think practically here. This one is awesome. Do you remember slip and slides? Now take that experience and extrapolate it anytime, anywhere. There's no denying that this one's a top 10 spot. But what about the flower that revives an ancient dragon fossil and brings back Grandpa Yosh? You can ride Pops wherever he goes. For some reason, man really likes going in circles, but I also want to believe we could develop that sort of relationship where it'll just take you wherever you want to go. Like, yo, Grandpa Yosh, you trying to get a beefy crunch wrap? Or Grandpa Yosh, I need a ride to the airport. It's an effective mode of transportation and a wise old friend wrapped into one big, beautiful son of a gun. Of course, you know this flower that turns you into a Goomba. Lose your arms, jump an inch off the ground, run slower, all simple sacrifices to become a mushroom man. Just look at this guy. Flowers everywhere want to taste, but you won't let them. And guess what? You can even walk on spiky surfaces. That's top tier, baby. Goomba time. We're now inside the top 5. And is it a cat? Is it a mollusk? It's the Hoppy Cat. Now we're cooking. This guy wiggles and wobbles around all cute until he jumps like 100 feet in the air in a second. I don't think I need to explain how great this would be. Like, pop this flower on a mountain while you're hiking. You know you want to be a Hoppy Cat. I just don't think I could be convinced that this one is not incredible. This flower lets you just float freely in space. Just give me some gear to survive, and I'm out of here. It also seems like you have full control over which direction you're going. And even though you don't really move that fast, I don't care. I would just be chilling. This one's just gotta be at the top. With only the final 3 remaining, I have to ask you this. Have you ever wanted to be so incredibly hard that not even electricity can phase you? Well, do I have the flower for you. Can you run fast? Can you jump high? Nope. But who needs that? You're invulnerable to anything and anyone. With metal, you get the invincibility and you get the sauce. I'm not exactly sure what more you could want. But for our runner-up, I could probably think of something you'd want more. We're talking lightweight invincibility. The kind where you can swim freely through lava, which has ridiculous implications, like your trip to Hawaii now includes a dive inside the volcanoes. And before you ask, I brought this effect into other parts of the game to make sure this is just true invincibility. And it is, except for spikes. It's an easy SS right up there with metal. But there's one spot remaining.
But Falcon, how could the ones where you're actually invincible not be the highest tier?
It's a great question there, Timmy. You see, it's very important to remember that if anyone were to touch you during one of these wonder trips, they would very simply die immediately. And we all know with power like that, you'd also have a lot of responsibility. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I'm ready for all that. So with all that said, for the number 1 pick, I'd like to announce... Wait, what time is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's slime time, baby! Become a ball of slime. Stick yourself to walls and ceilings at your leisure. Wall jump off of them and take no damage when you fall. Squeeze yourself in and out of tight spaces, or how about through other goo-like substances? And jiggle like you've never jiggled before. This is the life. You are a gelatinous menace to society, and there's nothing you can't do. What kind of flavor are you? Are you tasty? That's for others to find out at your discretion. At number 1, it's the slime. And that is the definitive Wonder Flower list. Oh no, don't agree? I guess you have to let us know below what your last place or your first place picks are. But until the next one, I'm RedFalcon, and I'm jiggling myself up out of here.